Hello, boys and girls. Thanks for coming back and checking out what Darken was up to after last time. So it was a pretty long session, about 4 hours. So it was only a couple of highlights. So I thought I'd just kind of edit down to a much shorter video. So I came back and I was looking for a group as usual, but I really just ended up hitting all this yard trash to begin with. Just hitting solos, kept calling out, saying that I was looking for a group. So this was pretty lame to begin with. Every once in a while, some of these people would come by. I was kind of fighting some people for some of these spots out here in the courtyard. Yeah, you can see there's some people sitting there, but I try to keep grabbing them. Every once in a while, I'd pick one up. Still, just throwing out those out of characters for a group. So I actually spent about an hour in here before I even got a group. So it was actually pretty boring, to tell you the truth. So I decided to go try out on the west wall. I didn't want to try to pull two of them, so I thought, oh, I'll just grab one of these guys hanging out over here. It shouldn't be a problem. Not at all. Unfortunately, everything in this entire zone has got a ridiculously stupid aggro zone. So I trained those mobs out. I thought it was okay, but I sat down and then I saw something coming. I'm like, oh crap, no, I gotta go. I tried actually to see if I could take him on, but I ended up getting too close to dying, and I thought, I'm not gonna do this. I'll just zone. My pet was already gone, so there was no point. So I came back in, started doing more yard stuff. Got a new pet, Geekab. Gotta love the Geekab. That's when I decided to try something new. I thought I'd check out this little maze. So of course I'm doing my whole little snoop and poop. I'm doing my Metal Gear Solid super stealthy roguelike. It wasn't very roguelike, but it was pretty interesting. No, actually no, it wasn't. It was pretty boring. I'm sorry. I only found a couple of things in there. I was pretty nervous because I had never been in there, so I didn't know what the heck was in there. It seemed like a place for lots of death and mayhem and misery to happen. But actually, there was just a beetle here, and then there was another mob later on. It was pretty unimpressive, actually. Of course, I didn't stay in there too long. Of course, yes, I do that all the time. I accidentally remove my gems because my finger sits on the mouse, and then I'll accidentally click it. If I happen to be on my spell gem, it's bye-bye spell gem. Yeah, so there was another one. I was just hiding around the corner, being as a courageous fellow that I am. I mean, I guess if I was pretty courageous, I wouldn't be a Necro. So it wasn't. I was actually feeling pretty confident because, you know, I'm able to take stuff. You know, I'm not vulnerable to every single thing that's in there. So. That was about it, though. Then I got to tell to start a group, so I went into the main room, and I'd never been inside a state of unrest before. But it was pretty interesting. I kind of I got added to the group, and we were doing pretty good. I was just doing my normal Necro thing, just nuking, pretty much just nuking and sending the pet in, nuking and sending the pet in. I mean, I don't know really what else I should be doing, but we had this puller, Quaid. He was actually pretty good. I think he's a Shadow Knight. This group that we had going on is pretty good. We had Morn was our healer, and she kind of kept everybody up. And she also knew that I was a Necro. She never healed me, which was awesome because I manage my own health unless I'm in a situation. So normally I just I'll use that life tap just to keep me up, especially when we're in a group like this. And so this portion of the night just was probably the best part of the whole thing. We ground out so much experience. I started this night with 2 yellow bubbles, and you'll see here in a little bit how efficient this group was. I finally fixed my pet button, so that way it would target the puller. I have to manually put it in there and then attack the puller's target. So once I got that set up, it was a lot easier to manage my pet. So learning, everything. This is all about learning. I was making pretty good experience here. If you can see right there, I'm about ready to ding, and it was really the next pull. What do you know? I didn't even notice it, but got to level 18. Yeah, I didn't even hear the ding. There was so much stuff going on, and I checked my inventory screen. I'm like, oh wait, it's all gone. I must have dinged. So that was kind of cool. It didn't. Once I got into this group, the experience just flew up. So we kind of just kept grinding for a while, and then we started losing people out of our group. You can see here we've got we're down to 2. Then we got this enchanter called Soviet. This poor guy does not have a happy ending to this story. But so we were us 4 for a while. We didn't have a healer, no healer. So you can see poor Quaid there. He's down on health. And there was a couple of pulls that he got super far down, and I mean, he looks like he's his own healer at some point because he goes through his heal dance. But it's pretty dangerous because these mobs pop into this room at just a random. You can see this guy, like Quaid's, like almost down. And you got to hand it to him because he was in this situation a lot during this period of the session when we didn't have a healer. But he would pull and he would fight down to the last little stitches. So he's pretty courageous. I mean, dying at this, it's always a struggle when you end up dying and losing the experience. But he had a bubble left and he still keeps pulling. So yeah, so he ended up doing a lot of the healing himself. We had the rogue there, that swole poke. He had no heals on him, so he just kind of spent a lot of time just sitting. But yeah, Quaid here will start doing his little Shadow Knight heal dance. He just sit there. I mean, he gets himself up to about 80%, and then he starts pulling. So I mean, it wasn't the worst group in the world. I mean, it was manageable, but it was really rough, and we could definitely not keep up the pace that we were before. So after a while, so he's got this greater skeleton as his pet. Well, it's at this point that he ends up, well, he gets an ad. So I throw a quick dot on it. I think, okay, well, he's gonna mez it or something, but I'll just put the dot on it just to kind of start chipping away at its hit points. And you can see him flash across the screen there to head to the other side of the room. But that was just the first bad sign that stuff was going to start going bad. So everybody just kind of continues, just kind of attacking the stuff that's in there. But then his pet breaks. So his pet's beating on him. Everyone's still kind of engaged with the mobs. And everyone kind of looks over here and sees him going down and not mezzing it. So we are all kind of getting ready, and then he's able to charm it again. So disaster averted for now, but he's still pretty low on health. So again, we kind of get back to business as usual, chopping away at what's there, and then some random death beetle happens to wander in. This Vonin guy, I don't know if can't remember if we invited him. I think that's probably what it was. I think we invited him in and he brought that thing in with us. But you can see a dark bone skeleton just pop. Starts beating on Soviet again. So there again, he's getting schmucked. So everybody, of course, runs to the rescue. Take down this skeleton. And then his pet pops again. And now both of them are on him. And he does an amazing job of keeping it away. We're just desperately trying to knock this stuff out. And look he is down to almost nothing. You can barely see a red sliver in there. So I don't know why Quaid pulled right now, but he pulled a group for some reason. And he pulled a big group, well, 3. So I'm not sure what he did. Like he probably tried to mess. And as soon as he did, boom, he was down. So that was our first death, and that's not Soviet's first death of the night. But it just made me realize how much aggro that enchanters tend to build up with all the shenanigans that they do. Because he pulled aggro a lot. And I'm not sure what Quaid was doing here. I think he was running a little bit and then smacked into something that popped. But you can see Quaid also got down to that sliver, and we were able to take it down. So this was a seat of the pants group for a while. But after a bit, I think we did end up getting ourselves a druid that should be popping up here. This is Quaid being his self-healer again. And then Soviet got it. He came back and got a new pet. And then we got our druid. So we got a healer. So yay, the world is good again. So we have our healer now. And we start churning up again. We start doing pretty darn good. We chewed through a couple of pulls. Everybody stayed up in health. We knocked everything down pretty quickly. But I want you to pay attention to that entrance that Quaid's in front of right now. Right behind that tormented dead. You see those 2 skeletons? Well, Quaid goes and pulls those. And then lo and behold, those were 2 mobs from somewhere else in the estate. I don't think he realized that. He was pulling them so fast. So everybody kind of puckered up when we started throwing everything at this one of them, and there's 2 of them here. You can see Soviet there is doing whatever he can. Everybody's just casting and smashing. But then Soviet pulls aggro again. So he's starting to get smashed. We're all trying to beat on this greater Darkbone. We actually are not doing half bad at it. I think if we had only pulled just that one, I think we would have been okay. But we have that barbed bone skeleton, which I didn't con, I didn't do anything. So I'm pulling back. I'm like, I'm really nuts here. So he did something to really piss off all of them. So I saw that happening. I saw everybody's, even the healer was starting to go down. He was running, and so you know what? Screw it. I'm a Necro. I'm selfish. I don't care. But I was keeping an eye on the target and on my pet, and we were killing the greater Darkbone, and my pet wasn't dying. So I thought, oh wait, okay, well maybe we can get it. And look, the healer's back up to full. Oh, there's my pet. Oh, I pulled him, so that's fine. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'll head back in, and maybe nobody will notice that I even left. And I walk in, and nothing. They're all gone. I'm like, oh, crap. I didn't see him leave. Turn around, bam, there they all are, and there's all the mobs chasing them. So here I am. I'm trying to get out of here, take a quick little swim, trying to hide from him in the water. That doesn't work. So I'm running by. This one aggro's on me, smacks me once. I'm all right, though. Head out. So we were able to, every once in a while I try to do that trick where you do the strafe at the same time, especially if things are going bad. But I make it to the zone. I think everybody but Soviet made it to the zone. So at this point it was like, okay, I think I'm kind of done with the party. This is like 3 hours into it. And I thought, you know what? I think we're going to be done. So I say my goodbyes, say, hey, that was a good group, if I could learn how to type correctly. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't going through, and then I realized, oh, I was typing the wrong thing in. So I said good group, and I'm taking off. Poor Soviet was going to go back in there and try to drag his body out. I think they probably have invis, so he probably would have been okay. But he ran off in his starter clothing, and I headed out. So I kind of cruised around a little bit. Wasn't exactly sure. I checked Dagnar's Cauldron a little bit to see if there was anything up that I could smash, but there really wasn't anything. So went back through Butcher Block, still invised. Then I pulled up to the docks, and the boat's still there, and that was like, I gotta hurry up. because I didn't know if it was going to leave or not. I didn't know how long it'd been there. So I stayed there with this guy pretending to be dead for the whole trip across. I don't know why he pretended to be dead, but... So, and then we get back to Freeport. So, go to Freeport, I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to go to Row. Let's just go to Row. There might be some things that I can bash in Row, but I'm super cautious at this point. Like, I'm conning every guard. I'm like making sure that none of them are scowling at me or they're threatening or whatever, but because you never know. Who knows what faction I might lose fighting something, and I want to come back and get mobbed by the guards. So just take a stroll through the newbie yard. Just zipping through here. Zone into East Commons. Or is it West Commons? I guess we'll find out here in a second. Oh no, North Row. So I'm in North Row, con things every once in a while. I know there really isn't a whole lot. So I'm checking. It's only in the desert that you really find stuff. So just kind of cruising along. I haven't really spent much time in the Row Oasis area, so I'm not super familiar with it. I know there can be sand giants and stuff. So I'm kind of cruising along here. I run across these tents, and that Dorn character in the dervish camp, I see he's popped. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I think he like dropped some sort of Dragoon Dirk or something. I thought, oh, okay, well, it's just a shot. I'm not going to camp him or anything. But he's up. I might as well just give it a shot. And he's conned in dark blue to me, so I'm like, this shouldn't be too bad. So I mem up my pet and a fear, because I want to be able to split if I need to. So I end up checking the other mobs that are there. So there's a light blue. I'm like, all right. So my plan is I'm going to fear that dervish, that orc dervish, and then pull Dorn. Well, I turn around, I get into position to pull, and smack. Some person decided they were going to grab him. So I was pretty pissed. I was like, really? Really? You didn't see me there? So, of course, I did the passive-aggressive run right by your mob. So I just I just forgot it, though, and continued on. See if there was anything else that I could try killing. But I was conning everything, seeing what was there. So I found some undead here. There's a light blue mummy. So I quickly took out the light blue mummy. It really wasn't anything. I was just kind of exploring the area and seeing what was out there. So it was pretty simple stuff. And then I had my pet kill all the skeletons so I could pick up some bone chips, because obviously I go through those with my pets, and I hadn't got bone chips in a while, even though I got stacks and stacks in the bank. So it was another dervish camp. One of them conned dark blue, so I thought, I'll med up here and I'll try it. So I sit down and med up. So I finally get pretty close. So I fear the light blue one once I reload it. So I fear the light blue one, get him running. So that way we can take care of the dark blue one. Get him going. Here comes the blue one coming, light blue one coming back. Knock him out. That was super exciting. This one seemed to take longer than the other one. I guess I wasn't nuking him. That's probably why. So, still nothing terribly exciting. So now we're getting ready to zone to run into a oasis. So, again, I haven't spent a lot of time here, so I'm not terribly familiar with it. So I just figured I would run along the coast because I'd read that some of the crocodiles were in my level range, so for experience. So I thought, and it's easier to know where I am and not get lost if I have the coastline in sight. So I zone into Oasis. So I'm kind of checking things out, and I see the first body laying there, and then rise over the hill, and there's more bodies over here. I see this dark blue ghoul, and I thought, well, okay, it's dark blue. That's what I'm kind of doing, is I'm just trying to like pick up a little bit of experience. But I'm only at 20%, so I lich, and so to try to get up there, and maybe I'll be able to grab it. So I get pretty close up there. I get about 85%. And then I notice I get a little visitor on my left. So I con him, and he's scowling scowling red. And I could not believe that he did not aggro on me. He came so close. I have no idea why he didn't aggro. So I start to take off, and I think, you know what? I could kite this thing. It's not that far above me. So I throw my snare on it, thinking, this will be fun. Little did I know, I don't know why, I don't know what's going on, but they're not slowed very well. I was able to get 2 dots off, I think. Yeah, I was able to get 2 dots off. I go for my heart flutter. He was right there attacking me again. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, see, by this time I'm already at half health, and I just started this thing. So I finally get my 3rd dot off. And I was lucky that he missed me when he got that close. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to run around a little bit. First one that'll probably drop will be the Heat Blood, but as soon as the Heat Blood happens, I'll just refresh Engulfing Darkness and start the whole cycle over again. So I'm thinking I'm just going to like run in these zigzag lines, or these long lines, east and west across the zone. Except for I didn't realize where the zone line was. So I zone out. I'm like, oh, crap. So all my dots are gone, right? And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take him to heal up. So turn right back around, see what I can do, see if I can find him. And if he hasn't healed up a whole lot, I was going to keep going. So, I mean, I'm only at 40% health. He's about halfway. So I thought, well, I could probably still do it. So I snare him again. This time I'm going to run a lot longer before I try to do my other dots. So, and I should have taken this to be a sign. I'm a little foreshadowing here. So I hit him with my 2nd dot. Pull him over into this area. And I'm not sure why I turned around at this spot. I had plenty of room to go. But so I ran for a while, and then hit him with my 3rd. So now he's down to 2, so we're about even. We're doing okay. So I kind of just want to get an idea of where he's at. So he's kind of far away. I'm not sure what happens next, but so I run. I didn't realize I was close enough for him to hit me, but he smacks me, and he drops me, so my movement speed starts going. So I get hit again. He gets ticked down. He is like right there, and then so the next session is going to start with a corpse run, apparently. So, all right, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.